Hey everybody, welcome to Shorts and Hoodies, where my name is Jared in the Flock, and up here I have
Mr. Dash.
And here I have
It's Stephanie.
And today is the mystery episode where we're going to go over our top 10 mystery episodes. Remember to like, subscribe, smash all those buttons down there, the bells, notifications. Throw your top 10 in the comments down below and let Dash know what he needs to fill that void over here. Maybe you might guess it, you might not. Who knows? Because it's a mystery, guys. It's a mystery. So as always, we usually start off in the upper right-hand corner here, or my right. So Dash, why don't you kick it off here? Number one.
All right. I had super fun doing this. I really did. After a while, you will see a big pattern in my movies. I think I have 4 appearances by the same director, three appearances by a certain actor.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna kick things off. Actually, scripted everything today. So I'm not gonna go by my script, but I'm gonna go by my loose leaf guidelines here.
Okay.
Nice.
So my number 10 pick, he is the sole survivor of the high fatality train crash. And he meets up with the opposite of himself. This movie is surrounded in comic books and theories of super strength, if you will. And it has also spawned 2 sequels. This movie has Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, along with Robin Wright, and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. This is Unbreakable. One of my absolute favorite M. Night Shyamalan movies. Certain ones I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll give it. But it's always that last 5 minutes for me. Or as Robot Chicken would say, with a twist.
With a twist.
Yeah, I mean, being a big superhero fan, I mean, I was already drawn to this. I mean, Bruce Willis at this point had just come off of another movie that possibly may be on somebody else's list here, where he might have seen some people. You know, whatever.
Forgot about that movie.
And so he was still riding that high train of his resurgence since Pulp Fiction and everything. I mean, then you have Sam Jackson, the man who can say one word with so much power. But yeah, this is my number 10, Unbreakable.
Awesome choice, man.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
It was going to be on my list, and I figured, Dash is going to pick that one for sure. And I'm glad my gut instinct was correct. So I also had a ton of fun picking this list. And then I also had fun going over this list with my coworkers earlier today. We had a happy hour, and I'm like, hey, guys, what are your favorite mystery movies? And some of them, the ones that I had, they picked, and some they gave me some new ones, which is a really fun thing to do. And I'm hoping people watching this do that with their friends. Like, hey, here are my favorite mystery movies. What do you like to do? My number 10 is from 2004. It stars Angelina Jolie and Ethan Hawke. It is about a serial killer that is unusual in that people don't know that he's actually killed the person because he assumes their identity. This is 2004's Taking Lives. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie. So yeah, so Angelina Jolie, Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke is a potential victim of the serial killer, and she and he are trying to find who this actual serial killer is because, he does take the identity of the people that he kills. So it's, several months or years even later that people realize that the person is gone because he usually finds some sort of a recluse or somebody who doesn't have a lot of contact with family, and he assumes their life and then goes on and then gets rid of that life and goes to the next one. He's done this over and over and over again. Favorite thing about the movie, though, is that music is by the great Philip Glass, who is somebody that I studied when I was in college for music. He's a filmmaker, a sound maker who believes in minimalism and these repeating patterns of sound that overlap each other. So the soundtrack of the movie is very cool, very zen, very meditative, and to hear these patterns kind of weaving in and out through different scenes. And so I always really enjoyed the music of that. So that's my number 10, Taking Lives. Have you guys seen this movie?
I did not see this. And I can vividly remember like the
poster. Yeah, posters. And it's a very sexy movie. Very sexy movie.
Well, it's Jolie's though.
She can't help it. The girl cannot help it. So
who is the composer that you were talking about?
Philip Glass. So he's he's one of the most influential of the 20th century. A lot of would agree. So Very interesting music. Definitely recommend listening to some of his music.
I had something that was recommended to me by the Kennedy Center. It's Ben Folds composes a song live for an orchestra in 10 minutes. And he had those same repeating patterns where he was given a tune and then it was amazing to watch him direct it in 5 minutes. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're very much a Philip Glass school of thought right there.
Yeah.
So there's my number 10. Let's go to you, Jared.
Dash.
Yes.
You remember how last episode we said we had something that never happened before? Do you remember that? Where no one ever picked the same movie for the same spot?
Really? Your number 10?
My number 10 is Unbreakable too.
Awesome.
I don't know why, but it was at the last second because I was going through all the movies that were mystery. And I'm like, I've seen a lot of mystery movies. That's insane. And then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, that's right. Bruce Willis in Unbreakable was actually a mystery. And Samuel L. Jackson and the guy who did Split. And I was like, this is just a great movie. And it's a comic book movie. I know everyone's going to love it. We can talk about it. And then Dash hits it with everything. And I'm just like, all right, cool.
It's one of those movies, honestly, too, that looking at the movie itself, it is a masterpiece of a movie. It really, really is.
Yes.
The way
atmosphere.
It's crazy too. The world of superheroes that he created. It's that he didn't have to pull from DC or Marvel, even though they are referenced in the movie. He created this own comic book, almost like distribution company, like a DC or a Marvel. And that was one of the things that amazed me, that he was able to do this, but still reference the two main mega giants of the comic book world. But how it was written and just interweaved with everything was just beautiful.
I did like how they showed the strengths and the weaknesses, like the bench press scene where he just kept going and going. And then all of a sudden it was and then with Glass, he's like yelling at down the stairways. He's like, you are special. And then of course, like the water, and it just, you said it all. You said it all.
But what I was saying though is, like, for a movie so masterful, I'm really surprised, at least with myself, that this movie isn't higher than the number 10 spot. But then looking at my list, I can sit here and go, yeah, it's not better than that. It's not better than that. Okay, it's gonna go in number 10 for me.
Wasn't mystery like a big thing though? Like way back, like a couple of years ago, like mystery was the genre.
It's been a big thing since Sherlock Holmes existed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Dash, I guess we're just gonna keep going with you here, big guy. What's number 9?
Let's see if we can get the same number 9 now.
No.
See how much your lists overlap.
It's funny that we can go from the beginning when y'all joined the team and everything to where it was like, I have seen none of Jared's movies, to where we start off this list and we have the same one. All right. My number 9, I have talked about this movie on the show before. I have praised its glory. I am a big fan of this actor. This will certainly not be the last time you see this actor on my list here. If I'm not mistaken, he is at least on here 3 times, maybe 4. This is about a helicopter pilot who is part of a top secret military operation that enables him to experience the last few minutes in the life of somebody else. His job is to learn the identity of a bomber in this movie and to prevent a similar catastrophe. This movie stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Michelle Monaghan, and the wonderful, amazing Jeffrey Wright. This is Source Code. Have you guys seen Source Code?
Yes.
Loved it.
Love it. Love this movie.
This movie is such a mind. That once that first twist happens and everything expands, you start to get that idea. And then when you see him finally at the end, that's an emotional moment right there. When you finally see him. I mean, you've seen him the whole movie, but when if you've never seen Source Code, it's a mystery wrapped as an action movie, if you will.
Mystery wrapped in an enigma.
Yeah, it's very different, but the whole thing is really, who is the bomber? and that is the mystery around the whole movie. Yeah, if you've never seen it, highly recommend it. Source Code. That is my number 9. Stephanie, what is your number 9?
That's an awesome choice, and
Thank you.
one that was on my possible list as well. I again thought I knew you would pick that one for some reason. I'm starting to get to know you guys so well.
Yeah.
But that's fine. All right, so my number 9 is a bit of a different mystery. So this is a murder mystery. Other than, well, all these are kind of murder mysteries a little bit, but the question at the heart of this is, who killed Dr. Richard Kimball's wife? It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. That's from The Mask. But it's always the line I think about with this movie. But it is 1993's The Fugitive. Who killed my wife? I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. I mean, it's such a great scene.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, this great cat and mouse chase of him trying to elude law enforcement long enough to figure out the mystery of why Dr. Kimball's wife was murdered, which I won't spoil here because you should go back and watch the movie if you have not. It's really kind of a generic plot, but it's really elevated quite a bit. There was a TV show, The Fugitive, before, and this is kind of based on another book that The Fugitive that came out shortly before this. But great movie, amazing actors, amazing performances. The doctor, who is Dr. Richard Kimball's friend, also a great performance. The gal that he meets up with, I forgot to grab her name, but Andrew Davis, who directed this, didn't see much else from him, so unfortunately, but this was a big hit back in the 90s. And of course, you guys have seen this movie, right? You've seen this.
This is a movie that I can quote.
Yes.
This is the one
verbatim.
where they have the grain and the grain silo scene, right? Am I remember that? Or they chase him through the bayou?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they chase him through the bayou.
Through the bayou.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he jumps off the dam. He jumps off the dam.
That scene.
Amazing.
Can we talk about the Fugitive Scrubs crossover?
Yes,
that episode.
I have seen that episode. That is so good.
I'm not a big Scrubs fan, but I have seen that episode.
That's hilarious.
Hilarious. So
oh
my God.
That was my number 9. Let's go to you, Jared, for your number 9.
Oh, this is probably, I would be surprised if Dash had this one out here. 2004's super mystery that captivated the world and brought about, I'm pulling a Dash here, spin-offs of many spin-offs, just like the Fast and the Furious, the OG Saw.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Yep. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. So this banana sandwich of a nonsense movie is, you want to talk about a mind? This is, like it. I don't even want to spoil the movie because it takes place in like 2 rooms, and it's like the movie Phone Booth. If you like the movie Phone Booth with the heartthrob that is from 24 and Kiefer Sutherland, and then Colin Farrell, thank you. I don't know why I forgot. See, I get put on the spot. I don't remember names. But if you like that stylish movie where it can tell a whole story in kind of a very small place, it is fantastic. The series does get a little extra gory and a little over the top for me, but the OG Saw was pretty awesome.
Even the OG Saw made me want to throw up a little bit. That's a very, that's a tough, incredible movie, but tough to watch.
It's one of the few franchises, though the original is great, and I'm a huge Saw fan. 3 and 4, the movie gets better. Like,
I think
the movies get better and better. The bigger the traps become, the better the movie becomes. And then it starts to go down after 7, 8.
Did you like the Chris Rock one that just came out, Spiral?
I haven't seen Spiral yet. I have it on Vudu, but I have not seen it yet. I am a big Saw fan, and Jared, this franchise was very close to being on my list. I almost moved some stuff around here, and it was very close.
This is one I can't watch. It's just like,
It does. Then do not watch any of the extra ones out. They get really
torture porn.
Torture P.
Sorry.
Yeah,
my bad.
No, it's fine. But just like there are some where I'm even looking at it and I'm like, and I've seen some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Dash, let's move on and get Stephanie off the heebie-jeebies here. What's your
Thank
number
you.
8?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm scared.
My number 8 is the first time we will see this director on my list. This is a story of a writer's wife.
There we go.
Let's try that again. Yeah,
Writer's wife.
A story of a writer's wife gone missing. On the couple's anniversary, the writer becomes the prime suspect in her disappearance. This movie stars, somebody help me with it, Emily Ratajkowski. We'll just call her that.
Ratajkowski.
Yeah, sure. Patrick Fugit from Almost Famous. Tyler Perry, Neil Patrick Harris, and the man Ben Affleck. This is directed by David Fincher. This is Gone Girl.
Oh,
not to be mistaken with the sequel, Girl, I Thought You Was Gone.
Girl, you gone.
Yes. This David Fincher is one of my absolute favorite directors. He is somebody I look up to anytime I have directed any of my dance videos that I've tried to make and stuff. It's something about his color schemes and how he almost kind of dulls everything down to bring the story closer to you. Mm-hmm. So you're not what's the word?
I don't know.
Something else that's like pulling your eye away from it. You're not
distracted.
Yeah, you're not distracted by anything. You're able to concentrate in the story. And David Fincher is just amazing at doing this.
He's a master.
Whether you're talking movies like Gone Girl or my absolute favorite, The Social Network. He's just a master. Have you seen Gone Girl?
No,
I have not either. No.
This movie is a roller coaster of not just emotion but twists, and
a lot of talk from dudes about whether Gone Girl ruins relationships. So I don't know what that means based on what happens in the movie, but it always
see the movie and you will understand that.
And it's Rosamund Pike is the gal who plays Gone
Pike.
Girl. Yeah, she's a great British actress, also in Wheel of Time.
Dash, you can always tell if I've seen a movie or not because I just kind of blankly stare and I'm taking it all in and I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. They sound passionate.
And I nod supportively, even though I have no idea what's going on.
Oh yeah. Have you seen that? No, I have not.
No.
Oh yeah, she was beautiful in that movie.
I know what it is, and I know who's in it.
All right, Stephanie, what is your number 7?
Number 7, number 8. Were you number 8?
Yeah, number 8. Number 8.
Number 8. That's what I said.
There we go.
Number 8.
It's like, oh no, mystery. What happened?
I don't care what your number 8 is. Skip it. No.
The mystery is what happened to 8. So number 8. So this is going into more of a sci-fi genre. This is one of my favorites of all time. Mr. Tom Cruise is in this one. Also alongside him is the great Emily Blunt playing the great Rita Vrataski, the Angel of Death, trying to figure out how they're going to get out of an alien invasion when they keep repeating the same day over and over. How are they going to get out of this? This is either called Live, Die, Repeat or Edge of Tomorrow. There are two titles. Or
Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
Or Live, Die, Repeat / Edge of Tomorrow. But yes, one of these names based on the great, if it's a manga or if it's a comic book, I forget which one it is, but based on a great graphic novel called All You Need Is Kill, which that should have been the title they picked for the movie. That's a great title. All You Need Is Kill. And they just keep going the same day over and over again. They can't figure out why. And, there's a reason when it stops. And Tom Cruise has to figure out from Rita Vrataski how she did this before. Emily Blunt just being her complete badass self. Oh, sorry, I swore. Sorry. My bad. Doing amazing yoga poses. Just amazing. Great film. And they also built those mecha suits. So they actually had to run in those mecha suits, which made the film go way over budget. And who knows if we're ever going to get a sequel.
Speaking of mech suits, you want to talk about mech suits? Level Up did an episode on mech suits. Technically, kind of, sort of.
There you go. Crossover.
Who was it that said IMDb cannot be trusted?
It was me.
You both are 100% right, because I've seen these movies that you're talking about, and apparently these are not on the
mysteries.
IMDb garbage.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Great for finding out what the actor's name is and who was in this and that, and what projects they have coming up. But no,
not good for genre bending. But maybe someday we'll get a sequel to Live Die Repeat. I hope so. It's a good movie, really good movie.
Was a sequel to the manga?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably is. There's always a sequel to a manga if they're really popular. So that was my number 8. Let's go to you, Jared, for your number 8.
We're gonna ask a question here, though. What's the difference between a graphic novel and a manga?
Manga is a graphic novel, but not all graphic novels are mangas.
There you go.
Well, okay. I was going to say one you read left to right, the other you read to right.
Oh, well, there's that too. Yes.
Yeah.
That too.
And that's the only true way. One of those is the correct way to do it. But speaking of unknown and mysteries, the absolute mystery that was 2007's Zodiac is my number 8 pick. Robert Downey Jr. If I'm not mistaken, we did crack his code like a year ago, which is actually I found out very interesting thing about my ex-girlfriend, but that is neither here nor there.
Are you saying that your ex-girlfriend is the Zodiac killer?
No,
we breaking this right now?
We're breaking this right now. She was the Zodiac killer. Please go arrest her. I would like to see her in jail. It was really funny because like we broke up and then like 3 days later, I found the news article about the Zodiac killer and we ran an old podcast about those kinds of people. And so I was like, hey, you got to check that. Oh, that's the listener from the podcast that and now you guys are dating. Oh, that's cool. All right. That's fine. It's okay though. Boy. Yeah, no, that's what.
You have a lot of emotional baggage tied up to this movie.
Right? I do. But no, I just think it's so great that like, it came across to like the Zodiac. I was like, this is what draws people's attention. That nobody knew, nobody understood. It took like questionable DNA methods to figure that out. And then these amateur sleuths are all over the world, like with a gal who just went missing, right? And how many amateur sleuths were coming in on TikTok? Like this stuff grabs your attention.
The number 1 podcast genre is murder mysteries. Ladies love listening to their murder mysteries. Not just ladies, all people.
Well, how great is John Carroll Lynch in that movie as the assumed Zodiac killer is just
sublime. And then of course Robert Downey Jr., he's just being himself, but I don't know, it just I love how this is something that we can just be captivated for years. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many murder documentaries I've binged. If it's on Netflix, I've watched it. And it's so yeah. 2007's The Zodiac.
Great director there too.
Who directed it?
David Fincher.
No, David Fincher.
Yeah.
He's on this list a lot, apparently.
Yeah.
He's a mysterious guy.
Great at mysteries. And it's crazy too, because this will lead us into this next one. That David Fincher, do y'all know how he got his start?
He was a commercial director.
Well, yeah, did music videos for Madonna.
Yeah, really?
Bowie,
music videos, that's what it was. Yeah.
And so that will lead us into this because one of the things that David Fincher is known for is bringing on a music supervisor for his movies. Case in point, The Social Network with Trent Reznor. And then with this movie is based around a financial reporter who is hired to solve the murder of somebody who is believed to have been killed by a family member. He is joined by one of the most badass women in movie history, at least in my opinion. She's unusual. She's an ingenious investigator, and she's got one hell of a back tattoo. This is Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara, and probably not the last time that we'll hear the name Christopher Plummer on this list.
Nope.
As well as Robin Wright, directed by David Fincher. This is the girl with the dragon tattoo. One of the most badass chicks. The soundtrack to this is just amazing. Trent Reznor can do no wrong in my eyes. And this goes from 9 Inch Nails to his movie scoring. It's just amazing. There's something about a synthesized electric guitar and what he can do to just distort it and change the sound all the way around for a scene. It's a great marriage between Fincher and Reznor, in my opinion. But yeah, there was other iterations of this trilogy, and we are finally going to get a sequel with Daniel Craig.
We are? They announced that? He's coming back?
Yes.
Man, that's been in development for a while. I'm glad they finally got it back.
For a long, long while. So, yeah, I'm excited. This will not be a direct sequel. I think this is based on the 4th book.
Oh, okay.
The Girl in the Spiderweb.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think because the original trilogy had happened, I think 2 years before 2011's David Fincher movie, and it had already
Another Country.
Yeah, it had so much success, and then it was like, hey, let's make an Americanized movie of it, and it was kind of downplayed a little bit, but I think because that original trilogy had already been made, Fincher was like, you know what, let's come back around and we'll do the 4th one now. So it's from what I understand, it's been greenlit and ready to go.
Sweet.
Nice. I think I did actually see it, but it was just like a one-time viewing, and I was like, okay, that's
very suspenseful movie.
Yes.
I like this movie a lot. Atmosphere. David Fincher. Atmosphere.
Yeah. All right. Now,
number 7.
What is your number 7?
All right. Thank you. We figured out the mystery. All right. So this is going to be. We'll see how many of you guys have this on your list, but this is a more recent movie. This is from 2019. This has Ana de Armas. Again, Daniel Craig shows up in this one. Chris Evans, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Christopher Plummer again, Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette. This is Daniel Craig with his crazy Southern accent trying to figure out who killed Christopher Plummer in 2019's Knives Out. This is a great movie. Rian Johnson, he had just come off of the everything with The Last Jedi and all of that hubbub, and he really knocked this one out of the park. It's kind of like come at me, guys. I can make a great freaking movie where he deconstructs the entire mystery genre, right? You know from the beginning that Ana de Armas didn't do the thing in the movie that people are accusing her of, right? You know that from the beginning. So the mystery is then, why was she set up? Who set her up? Why are they doing this? And great turn from Chris Evans, charming as heck, wonderful direction, nice fast-paced chasing and cat and mouse game again with Daniel Craig and Ana de Armas, and trying to figure each other out and wrap these brains around each other. So great movie, very fun movie, very entertaining movie. So it's Knives Out.
Was this one on a train?
It was not on a train. You're thinking of
Breath.
No, Daniel. Well, I'm thinking of the other one. The Orient Express. Yeah.
Oh, yep. The Orient. Okay, because I was like,
Murder on the Orient Express.
I could have sworn I saw that. Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah,
very much.
Both playing on Sherlock Holmes.
And Poirot,
and that was one of my favorites. So Sherlock Holmes is one of my absolute favorite. Like all the short stories and everything, and all the long stories too. But I love all the Sherlock Holmes references in the movie.
Very much so.
From him calling him Watson throughout the movie to the collapsible knife. There's a lot of subtle hints. The spider on the face. Yeah, I was just like, wow, this is literally a modern day Sherlock Holmes movie. But in this case, it wasn't. What's the guy's name? Lakeith.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, not him. See, I looked at it as he didn't play Holmes. It was Marta was Holmes in this.
Yeah,
film.
very much so. Marta was Holmes.
So it was an incredible movie.
Great script, awesome job. This great movie all around. Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know if I mentioned her. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
did her. Okay, but her character in the movie, she's just so. She's so like this the whole time, and she's so oppressive. It's hilarious. And Toni Collette's also very funny too. Yeah. So there's
my favorite thing, whenever she would like go dancing over by her and try to pull her, and she'd be like snatching her hand back. I was just like,
so gold.
Smack you.
She gonna smack you.
Oh,
so that's my number 7. Jared, let's go to you for your number 7.
That just reiterates that I have to watch that movie.
You do. You really do. It's so fun.
Especially
my buddy Alex
comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
My buddy Alex is really, really hard on movies. Like, he is a super critiquer, and like he was like, "It's good." And I was like, "All right, I should probably watch it then."
Yeah, there's no plot holes. I couldn't find any plot holes in the movie whatsoever.
All right, so yeah, but some of the plot holes are in this movie were some reasons why people didn't like it too much. But this comes to us from 2016, where not a whole lot of it is explained, but we are hanging out in John Goodman's basement for a little bit there. So 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah.
Good choice.
I mean, it really, like, the guy and the gal were having an argument. Next thing you know, I think we talked about this movie.
We did.
Yeah.
Disaster movie list.
Yeah, disasters movie. And it was just great because all of a sudden she's in a car accident and then you're in a room with a dude, John Goodman. John Goodman's psychotic. You can tell. Got sidetracked for a second, but like you could just tell that like he's over the top, and it's like, yeah, kind of the last guy I want to be in a room with, but I'm lucky I'm in a room with her. The ending kind of ruined it, but how are you gonna really end a movie like that? You know, like there's no way to win when you show what's truly happening.
Sure.
So I just think it's great that nothing is ever really explained, or then boop, here it is. And then it kind of leads into the trilogy of the Cloverfield universe, but I liked it.
Good movie. Very claustrophobic movie.
Really?
I thought it was. I thought it was just being stuck. You can't get out. I don't know. Being stuck in a room makes me claustrophobic.
Was that part of the reason why you didn't like Saw to begin with?
Probably. Yeah. Being claustrophobic. The feeling of being in an enclosed space. Oh, no. No, thanks.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Don't ever live in a trailer then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I understand that.
Well, it looks like we've covered Cloverfield Lane quite well because Dash, you don't have much to say, or did you watch it? Or
I have not seen it still.
Oh, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah, no, yeah, we had touched on that during disaster movies. I did see the original Cloverfield.
Oh, okay.
None of the other sequels. So
I was like, Dash is gonna have something nice to say, but
Paradox is not great.
Yeah, so.
Nah.
Was Paradox that bad?
It's fine, but it was shoehorned in as a Cloverfield sequel, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, here's some money. Let's go ahead and make it.
Like, we're not going to make this. What if you made it Cloverfield? Oh, okay. Here you go. In my personal opinion, if you like the movie, cool on you.
Well, I mean, every time I've watched a movie you guys have referenced, it's been good. So I think I'm going to stick back and maybe not watch Paradox because I was hesitant to watch Paradox because I was like, yeah, it doesn't.
Decide for yourself. You never know. But
I don't want to decide. Dash, take us away.
This movie reinvented and revitalized an entire genre.
I'm going to judge you hardcore on this.
Please do. Fight me on this one. Seriously, I dare you. This is part of the horror genre as well. One of the best twists in horror movie history, slasher movie history. We join a young high school girl. Shocker. It's a horror movie and there's a young high school girl in a journey to forget her family's past, but it's not able to because of her stalker, pretty much. This is an all-star cast. Let's just go through this. We'll start off with Jamie Kennedy, Rose McGowan, Matthew Lillard, Henry Winkler, Liam Shriver, Skeet Ulrich. Starting us off with Drew Barrymore, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette. Directed by Wes Craven. This is Scream.
Nice.
One of the best twists of we're so used to who's the killer, not who are the killers. And just an amazing franchise, if you will, too. I love the first one wholeheartedly. I'm a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan. The Hills Have Eyes. I love Wes Craven so much.
The master. New Nightmare.
Yes.
Which you just referenced referenced recently.
Just a masterpiece of a horror director. But this one right here I was sitting here thinking about this when I was going through my list and going, what are the biggest twists that I can remember? Mm-hmm. And I went on to Google biggest mystery movies, and this movie popped up on that list, and I was like, well, it's not a mystery movie at all. That's a slasher movie. And then I was like, oh wait, I was like, that twist though. I mean, trying to figure out who was Ghostface the whole time.
It's true.
I was like, this would be a mystery. There's a reason it's on, on Google's list. So that is my number 6, Scream. And
I'll give that to you
for Scream 5 too. But you think about this though, at that time, we had, we're fresh off of like Leprechaun in the Hood. Like we were trying to find a way to keep going with horror movies that it had to kind of die, and then boom,
to be reborn.
Of all people to bring it back, Wes Craven, the man who, blew it up with Freddy Krueger.
An absolute genius.
Yeah.
It's a genius for all time. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Definitely. All right, Stephanie, what is your number 6?
All right. So the joke has been that Steph tries to find stuff from the ether, from deep cuts. And it's going to be kind of a deep cut. We'll see if you guys have seen this. It's pretty famous. It was remade pretty recently in 2006. But this is the original 2003 South Korean version. This is Old Boy. You guys ever seen this movie, Old Boy?
Never even heard of it.
All right, so the film, I'll read the little byline. The film follows the story of Oh Dae-soo, who is imprisoned in a cell which resembles a hotel room for 15 years without knowing the identity of his captor or his motives. When he is finally released, Dae-soo finds himself still trapped in a web of conspiracy and violence, and his own quest for vengeance becomes tied in with a romance, and he falls in love with an attractive young sushi chef, Mi-do. So that sounds very banal, that byline, right? There's a huge twist in the movie that I will not spoil here, but it is a huge twist in the movie. I did watch the more recent version with Josh Brolin, and that's fine, but the original, and I personally prefer to watch it in Korean, which, I'm such a snooty little whatever, but I do like hearing the actual language. There's something about hearing the inflection of the actors' voices in their language. Yeah, you do have to read, but something about that, just I connect with it better. You can watch it with the dub, it's fine. But there's the twist in it is so like, ugh. And then figuring out the mystery of why he was put in this situation. I won't spoil anything further. It's a beautiful movie. Park Chan-wook is the name of the director. Awesome movie. Old Boy. That's all I'm going to say.
I've heard good things, but I've never seen it.
Okay. It's so good that Spike Lee was the one that tried to make the new Old Boy version with Josh Brolin. And it's a fine version. It's lacking a little bit of the Koreanness, if you will, of the original atmosphere of the movie. There's so many cultural things in the movie that are tied to that specific region that the newer version just doesn't have. So for me personally, I like the older one better.
I will actually agree with you. Now that you've mentioned Josh Brolin, I did see Old Boy, and then I heard it was done. It was hard to follow because this was like right around the time that I was like getting really into subtitles, because a lot of times I would have to watch movies with the sound off. But I will agree with you. It is, yes,
good story.
Yes.
Quite a twist, right?
Yes. Wow.
Quite a twist. Was he twist? All right. So there's my number 6. Jared, what's your number 6?
So I'm pulling a dash here. And that's just because apparently I can't read numbers in front of them. You know, when you got a 10 Cloverfield Lane, there's a couple numbers in front of it. So I'm moving one up and Cloverfield moved down one. But the Jack Reacher series.
Okay.
Now talking about the original Jack Reacher from 2016, technically it's a little bit more actiony, sort of. But it does have a bit of mystery because you don't know who Jack Reacher is. He's just this unknown military police investigator. You don't know who the killer is in the movie, and somebody else sets him up, and it kind of dives into the mafia and a couple other different things. But it's not so much a fancy frilly movie with everything. It's very straightforward. It's very blunt. It's to the point, and that's kind of what gives me that's what I like about Jack Reacher, is that very just, this is it. So that I liked it.
Dry.
Yeah,
and it's got Tom Cruise.
Well, I think he was perfect for that movie. I actually read one of the books when I had a lot of reading time, and I thought it was interesting because when I read the book, how they always like, oh, the book's better than the movie or whatever. I'm like, okay, like that's how he was in the book, and I was like, okay. And it was a whole series. You good with that pick or?
Oh, I'm good. I've just never seen Jack Reacher.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, because like I'd mentioned, it's kind of more actiony than mystery. I
agree. No, but I can't really speak to it too much.
Okay.
When the trailer came out, it really didn't do anything for me, and I love Tom
Cruise in a car.
Yeah,
I love Tom Cruise. But I think
Rosamund Pike.
What is he had just come off of something else?
Oblivion.
Yeah, Oblivion.
Yeah. I didn't see that either.
Well, Oblivion's another really good one.
He did American Made. He did. He's on Magnolia. Way earlier.
Maybe it wasn't Tom Cruise. It might have been something. It might have been somebody else. Anyways, I think I can remember going, well, this is really similar to John Wick.
Oh, okay.
So I was sitting here going, this is another John Wick movie, and I didn't like John Wick. Why would I watch this?
Yeah.
And so, sorry.
Isn't Oblivion where they make copies of them and stuff like that?
Don't spoil it.
But it's been out for a
I was
minute.
going to watch it tonight.
Yes, they are clones.
Spoil a movie that's what, 7, 8 years old. All right.
If I look like Olga Kurylenko, I would clone myself as well.
I did like the twist on why they cloned those two.
Yes,
like that's still pretty cool. Sorry, Dash. Because I was like, it's a mystery movie, isn't it?
Sure. I don't
Isn't
know.
it?
Again,
Yeah.
I know. I can't tell you.
It's a mystery.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
The mystery,
I'm sorry.
the mystery to Dash is the plot of that movie because he's never seen it.
Never seen it.
I wasn't trying to call you out, big guy. I was just like that look tells me like I may have picked the wrong movie here. Okay.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
good.
It's okay. But yeah, so there we go. Cool. Anyways, Dash, are you just as excited about your number 5 as you are 6?
Well, I'm getting more and more excited. The more and more I get to my number 1, I'm even excited about my honorable mention.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, so with this one, I'm not going to give a real synopsis because this is a cluster of a movie. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I'll just give you points. This movie involves sleepwalking, rabbits, jet engines, and parallel universes.
Starbucks. No,
not at all. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the second appearance of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I know what it is.
Along with his sister Maggie Gyllenhaal, Noah Wyle, Patrick Swayze in one of his final roles, Jenna Malone, Seth Rogen, and Drew Barrymore, directed by Richard Kelly. This is Donnie Darko.
Yep.
that's right.
One of the most
someday I'm going to see this movie.
Movies that there has ever been, but it's so good. This was along the around the same times as like Doom Generation, Go, very early 2000s. We'll call it CGI, like graphics and stuff like that. The cool
That
thing
scene-
about this, do what?
That scene with the knife, though, that was
The mirror
great.
kind of. Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't want to give it away, but
Well, I mean, it's a mirror.
yeah, well, like that was CGI. That was amazing for that time frame.
True. The cool thing about this too, it did spawn we'll call it a sequel called S Darko, where it takes from the point of view of his sister, who is much younger, or not much younger. She's a little bit younger. I'm sorry, the younger sister. So it doesn't necessarily deal with the mental illness and depression that Donnie goes through. So you see everything through her eyes of what happens in his fun city.
Was the ending an expression for something, or was that legitimately
very
the ending?
much? It was very
Okay.
much.
Man, someday I got to see this movie.
This movie is
it's on my-
wrapped in mental illness and depression.
Sounds entertaining.
There are a lot of not only just parallel universe kind of things, but parallel like metaphors for certain things in this movie, dealing with Patrick Swayze and what he deals with. Yeah, it is definitely a mind of a movie, but it is incredible.
It holds up today.
It really does. It really does. And it's crazy. This is one of his first movies. This is Seth Rogen during Freaks and Geeks times.
Wow.
So this is, I mean, yeah,
Old.
great movie. Yeah, Donnie Darko, my number 5. Stephanie, take us to your second half here. Your number 5.
All right. My second half, number 5. So this is going to be maybe one of the first of many. We'll see. Mentions of this director. This is a movie where 2 rival illusionists square off to try to outdo one another. And at the end, we find out what the price of one illusion actually is. This is Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman fighting each other as illusionists. This is The Prestige.
Where is
Prestige. No, not where is she?
I know.
But this is, yes, the great Christopher Nolan, written by Christopher and his brother Jonathan. Scarlett Johansson is in it. Michael Caine, of course.
Yes.
Michael Caine is in all Nolan movies. And of course, you mentioned his name once before. The great David Bowie appears in The Prestige. May he rest in all power that he is deserved as a musical god. Talk about atmosphere in a movie. It's just so much suspense of how are these guys pulling off these tricks, and then it's finally revealed how that final illusion is happening. It's like, oh my goodness, wow, what an ending to that movie. So that's all I'm gonna say, and all I'm gonna say about that. That's The Prestige.
You want a minefield of nonsense? That movie will mess with your perception of how some people have to live their lives, even with the twist.
The twist.
Sorry, Dash, I cut you off, big guy.
Kind of a resurgence of what we used to see prior to that in the late 90s with Dante's Peak and Volcano and The Prestige and The Illusionist.
Prestige and The Illusionist.
Coming out
rival
at the
movies.
Time, yeah. Yeah.
Deep Impact, Armageddon.
Yeah.
I am so mad at IMDb. These are such great movies that I forgot were mysteries. So mad.
Oh well, Google always works too.
It works.
But that was my number 5. Let's go to your number 5, Jared.
Well, instead of just 3 of us here, there's 4 people in this movie, and they're all from very different backgrounds because they were all adopted. And their mama, who they absolutely loved dearly, lived in the city of New York, where crime rates are super high. This is 2005's 4 Brothers.
Okay, I've not seen this.
Yeah. Okay. What's that? No,
Dash
what's up, Dash?
That's a great effing movie.
There we go.
Mark,
there we go.
That scene in the gym when he like just grabs the microphone. Oh, this is my boys. Like, love that movie.
I thought it was kind of cool because I was adopted, and then my parents, both of my parents remarried. So you want to talk about big mixed family? I've got 2 brothers, 3 stepbrothers, and 3 stepsisters. So like I've got a pretty big family across everything.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's just super cool how like they live together. They're so close together. I just like you boil it down to what it is as a mystery movie. It's kind of a little cheesy, but it's just kind of like, nope. And you're like, oh, that's okay. That's interesting. And then how could one of them, that's all I'm going to say is how could one of them?
How could you?
Great.
Where is she?
Where is she?
I'm sorry. Whenever I think of Christian Bale, that's all I can think of.
Where is she? Where is she?
Where are the drugs coming from?
Where is she?
I love that. But yeah,
great pick.
Who's the one kid? Because I know I looked up his name. Like you don't
have
really.
Mark Wahlberg. You have Tyrese. You have Andre 3000, and then you have the other guy, and I can never. He was like. He's like actor, like I mean, duh, but like he's not like Mark Wahlberg. At the time, Mark Wahlberg wasn't really an A-list actor. He was
it's true
on his way up.
Tyrese
he had done Baby Boy. That was pretty much it. Andre had really done nothing except for Outcast. And then I can't remember who it was.
He wasn't like A, but he wasn't a B team. He was like right on the cusp where he was like, apparently he's been in a couple other things too after that. Like he's a pretty decent, solid actor getting work, but like he fits so well into that role that he needs to be.
Yeah.
You know, so,
yeah.
So let's go ahead and whittle it down from 5 to 4. Dash, where are we at with your number 4?
My number 4, I had mentioned this earlier. A movie that I had slept on for a long time. This movie is a modern day Sherlock Holmes, a whodunit. This was number 7 for Stephanie, and number 4 for me. This is Knives Out.
Yep.
Finally seeing this movie last night for the first time.
It's so good, right?
I'm halfway through the movie, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a smoke break. I need to digest what I've seen so far, and it's definitely one of those movies. It's such a smart movie,
so smart.
And again, I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan. The amount of Easter eggs that are in this movie, of not just the Sherlock Holmes stuff, but like Murder on the Orient Express, any kind of like mystery movie stuff like that. Are in this movie. You just have to look. One of my absolute favorite Easter eggs was again the spider on the eye. It's a direct Sherlock Holmes reference.
I didn't catch any of those Easter eggs.
Really?
So I mean, yeah, I didn't catch any of those, and I still enjoy. Yeah, I do. I have read Sherlock Holmes, but I'm just not as a mega fan as you are.
No, I do love mystery movies. But yeah, I slept on this for the longest time, and I was like, you know what? This movie is going to be brought up tomorrow. I guarantee. Being today, Friday. And so I was like, I'm going to go ahead and watch this. And especially, there's a sequel coming out with Netflix and everything. I need to go ahead and do this so whenever somebody references this, I can speak on it. And then after coming back in, and then it's like, it's not just a twist. It's a twist and another twist and another twist and then another. And it just keeps going and going and going to where it's like, I thought I knew everything. Oh, now I don't know everything. There's more.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yeah, it's such a good script.
Yeah. Incredible movie. Knives Out, my number 4.
Knife to you, Stephanie.
All right. Well, thank you. So we're going to my number 4. So my number 4 is another recent movie, another movie that I would categorically say is pretty genius in its construction. And it involves a mystery about Allison Williams brings her boyfriend for the first time to meet her parents in upstate New York. Her boyfriend, though, is Daniel Kaluuya. And there's a whole mystery of why she brought him up to the house. This is 2017's Get Out. Have you guys seen this movie? By the great Jordan Peele? You have not seen this. Oh my gosh. Okay.
This has to do with like a movie being hyped up too much. Where I'm like,
you know what?
Late to the party.
I get it. It's really a hyped movie and it got a lot of Oscar buzz, but I will, for me personally, it's so lived up to that hype, even with all that. Just because the story is one thing and the twist is one thing, but it's the way that Jordan Peele builds to the twist and the way that he uses the characters, the way that he plays a lot on, racial themes going on, right? People, I mean, I won't say too much about it in that respect because I want people to watch it, but if you haven't seen it, but the mood, the atmosphere, the deep place, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The deep place that Daniel Kaluuya goes to is very creepy. It's very unnerving what Catherine Keener's character can do to him in this movie. So a lot of another layer on top of layer of mystery in this movie that I think it's brilliant. It's so brilliant. So Get Out. That's my number 4.
Yeah, I think if Knives Out taught me anything, it's to trust my gut. Don't listen to the hype, or just ignore the hype and just not feel like I'm gonna get let down. Just see the epic movie. So
I should probably start doing that too.
Yeah.
I was so happy when I watched this movie. After I was like, that is one of the greatest movies I've seen in the last 10 years. Oh my God. I was very excited after I saw it. It's a very, very smart movie. So I loved it. That's my number 4. We're going to go to you, Jared. What is your number 4?
I wish I could do this, but I know I shouldn't. But I'll save it for the honorable mentions. So my number 4 is Zootopia. Actually, believe it or not, it does have a little bit of mystery in it. The whole mystery. I just think it's so great as like it just takes Breaking Bad to like the next level. I feel
that's an interesting statement for a kid's movie.
Well, I mean, think about it. The Nightshade. Well, the
Breaking
Nightshade.
Bad, but for kids.
Well, I don't know. I was maybe a little tired when I wrote this.
I'm sorry.
All I'm picturing is like the Breaking Bad music with the smoke and everything, and it's like Zootopia.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, you have the guy in the lab with the suit, and he's talking like it's crazy, and like it's just. There's multiple levels to it, kind of like it doesn't go too deep for a mystery movie, but the last thing you think of, and it's just, I was probably really tired when I made that reference to Breaking Bad. So let's go and scrub that from that. But yeah, it's just, Judy is extorting Jason Bateman and just Jason Bateman is being Jason Bateman in the movie. And I like how there really wasn't a love story in it. It was more of Judy's extorting him because of what he knows in the underground to get the answers that she needs, and then they become buddy cop in the end. I know there's a lot of fan fiction out there where they are a couple, but I like how they don't have a love story in this, really, kind of, sort of. I don't know, am I wrong on that?
I've never seen the movie, so I don't know.
Wow.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
I have to say this.
I've heard it's very smart, though.
How long? So we've been doing this show now for about 2 months, right? The three of us. This is like the fourth list Zootopia's been on.
It is. I think Jared really likes this movie.
I do. It's a.
I've heard it's a very smart movie, so I'll watch it and I'll be like, "Hey, Jared, I finally see what you see in this movie because I finally watched it."
I almost, from now on, I'm just literally like, so next week when we do gangster movies, I'm waiting. He's going to be like, you know what?
Well, there's gangsters in
Number
Zootopia.
4, Zootopia.
I will find a way to work Zootopia into the next. You know what? That's the mystery for next week's episode. How does Jared work in Zootopia?
There we go.
Hilarious.
Watch this. I'm going to totally forget about it when I do my list.
We'll see.
I wish you guys watched the same movies that I watched, because then I look at you to like, I'm like, Dash, Stephanie, help me out here. And you guys are just like, nope, never seen it, Jared.
Haven't seen it. I'm busy watching Korean dramas.
I'm just watching David Fincher and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Sorry, dude.
That's okay. I look at you guys blankly. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Good movie. Never heard of it. Yep. But yeah, Zootopia. And so now that there are 3, Dash, where are we at, bud?
Well, speaking of Jake Gyllenhaal, so he's back.
Someone's got a man crush.
I really do.
I mean, not a bad one to have.
I mean, this one brings them both together. This is Jake Gyllenhaal and David Fincher. It's already been mentioned, and I can't believe you said this was your number 8. But this is Zodiac. It's a masterful movie. Robert Downey Jr.'s character, the scene under the street lamp, is a very haunting scene of the Zodiac Killer's one of his first attacks. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to be said that hasn't been said already about this movie, about the actors. Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Anthony Edwards, Brian Cox, the great Donald Logue, Dermot Mulroney, Chloe Sevigny, and of course John Carroll Lynch as the assumed Zodiac Killer. Just an incredible cast, an incredible director, an incredible movie.
Yeah,
that's it. That's my number. Trey. Stephanie, what is your number, Trey?
All right, so my number, Trey, you guys are going real heavy with these mysteries. I'm going to go a little bit lighter with my number 3. This is a movie that, as far as I know, nobody has ever done a better movie based on a board game. And also, nobody has ever done a movie like this where when it first came out, depending on which theater and which showing you were at, you were given a different ending to the movie.
Shut up.
That is true. This is 1985's Clue, based on the board game. Yeah, so when this movie originally came out, depending on which theater and which showing, sometimes, depending if it's a bigger theater, you would get a different ending than the movie that was playing in a different theater at a different showtime. Isn't that fun?
That's cool. So amazing.
Why has nobody done that since? It's such a fun black comedy. I mean, any movie with Tim Curry in it, I mean, has my heart because he's an amazing actor. But you have, of course, another favorite of mine, Madeline Kahn, the great Madeline Kahn. And it's just a fun movie. It's based on the board game, and it's, a little bit cheesy, but the comedy really drives the mystery. And yes, it's a whodunit, but the fun thing, I wish I could go back in time and get out of a showing and then talk to a friend who's seen the same movie, like, oh, what ending did you get? I don't know. What ending did you get? That's so fun. The DVD, I think, has all of the endings. You can watch them. I think you can pick, you can randomize. It used to be that you get a DVD, would randomize which ending you would get. I don't know if that's still the case, if you can buy a
That'd
DVD
be so cool, though.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, let's watch Clue. Let's see what ending we get.
See what ending we get. Absolutely.
That's awesome sauce.
I wish they would do that with a movie nowadays. It'd be kind of fun. Like a Nolan movie or something. Like, oh, which Nolan ending did you get? I got the one where love was the fourth dimension. M. Night Shyamalan. He would. Can
make
you
a great
imagine?
movie. Yes.
Yes, he should be the one to do that. Absolutely. Which twist did you get? Oh, that's so funny. So that's my number 3. That's The Great Clue. You guys have not seen it, it sounds like.
No.
So
No, I
you'll
have,
have to
yeah.
watch. You
I
have seen it. Okay.
Yes. I remember seeing
I
it
am.
when it came out.
Which
But
ending? Well, I won't ask which ending
I don't
you got.
remember. I
Please
don't
don't.
No, I remember being a big Tim Curry fan. I mean, off of It.
Mhm.
I mean, I grew
Rocky
up watching
Horror.
horror movies, but more than anything, Rocky Horror.
Great,
it's one of the
amazing
greatest movies, not just musicals, but movies ever.
movies. Anyways,
that is a movie that I almost regretted not seeing earlier. The Rocky Horror. Yeah. I was forced to watch it by an ex-girlfriend of mine, and I was not like, none of it looked appealing. I think I watched it at least 15 more times afterwards.
Have either of you ever seen it, gone to the theater and seen it?
I have not. I've always my mom has done that.
Charlotte used to, when I lived in Charlotte, there was a place called Silver Screen Cafe. Every week they would do Rocky Horror Picture and go dress up and sing along and all that stuff. And it's great. It's so much fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
Before the C word, around the towns that I was in, they would do that. They had the silver screen where they would show really good movies, that you could just go to. And like, it was fun. It was
classics.
Cool. Yeah. $3 for a ticket. It was nice.
Speaking of $3 for a classic, what's your number 3, Jared?
My number 3 is number 9. The movie 9. There we go. From 2009, of all places. It's a really cool stop motion animation, I think is what they made. It's about dolls. You follow really doll cool number movie. 9. And just, it's really interesting how all the dolls interact. And it is a post-apocalyptic world, stop motion animation. It feels very realistic. It feels very fleshed out. The movie feels... It feels almost like you're transported to another place, but the place feels lived in. It feels like it could legitimately be a place that isn't like, the movie that you love, Stephanie. Banana Sandwich, the one with Christmas and Halloween mixed. Why can't I think of it?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, like it took like it felt like they took the Nightmare Before Christmas world and just enhanced it, to where it felt very. Like it felt like you were being transported into a different world.
It's a very cool looking movie. Very cool looking movie. I remember seeing this in the theater. It's just like, whoa. It
was amazing.
Stop motion animation in the big screen is a perfect marriage because you get to see the tactileness of all the dolls. It looks really cool, especially in 3D if you get to see it in 3D.
And if you do like the movie 9, a good game for you to play is Little Big Planet. A lot of mystery, a lot of intrigue. It's very fun. And you're a doll. And you can customize the ever living out of your dolls. So
very fun game.
Take it you've seen 9, right, Dash?
No, and I was very confused because when you said 9, I thought you meant as in the 9, as in Paul Rudd and Jessica Alba. Based like
never heard of it.
It's a like religious movie that they did. It's based around like commandments and stuff. But yeah.
Oh, that's why you had that. Okay.
That's why I was like, why is that a mystery? Like, that's a comedy. And then you said the doll, and I was like, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah, I just thought it would be cool because, like, I remember seeing it on the list, and I was like, that was a good movie. And I was like, this is going to mess with either Stephanie or Dash, and I think it might mess with Dash a little bit more on the name. So that's why I did it the way I did it. So thank you for letting me play that little joke. We are down to 2, though.
My number 2 is probably... This movie should be my number 1, but when I look at what my number 1 is, there's no other movie, in my opinion. So I had to move this to number 2. And as dark as my number 2 pick is, it's such a fun movie to watch. And that sounds so sadistic when you get to know what the movie is. But this movie revolves around the escape of a murderer, a female murderer. Marshals are sent to a fortress-like asylum located on an island to find out what happened to the disappearance of a woman from a locked room with no windows. This movie stars...
How do you not know this, Stephanie?
Probably haven't seen it.
Ben Kingsley, Michelle Williams, Patricia Clarkson, Jackie Earle Haley, Mark Ruffalo, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
Martin Scorsese's Shutter
I know what
Island.
it is. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't.
It's such a fun movie. And again, this sounds really sadistic if you've seen this movie.
It is a very fun movie. No, it is. It's very entertaining.
This is one of those, just like Knives Out, the road that you travel to find out the ending is so entertaining. Like, even though when you find out what Michelle Williams did, and you find out all of this stuff, and once it starts to really unfold in the last 10 minutes, you're like, what?
Yeah,
I just
what
read
just
this
happened?
whole movie. How did I not recognize anything? Such a great movie. Again, this should be my number one, but
now I'm excited.
When you get to my number one, it's one of those things like, yeah, that's number one.
Yeah, that's your number one. Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio are great.
They really are.
They're a great pairing.
Yep. And it's still one of those things, like, to me, I think of Marty Scorsese. I think nothing but, and a great segue into next week's episode, just incredible, great gangster movies. For him to do stuff like Shutter Island
or Silence. If you've seen Silence, Andrew Garfield, you should see that one.
Like, this is Scorsese. Like, I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong, but there's not a gangster in this movie. Like, it's so weird. I don't know. And I hate to pigeonhole a director or an actor or whatever. But I mean, it's kind of one of those things that kind of goes along with people like Scorsese or Tarantino or whatever. They get known for something. You want to see them do that all the time because they're so good at their talent. It's just great whenever somebody like Scorsese can venture out into other styles of movies that it just does a good job with that too.
It's like with Metallica. You want to hear Metallica do Metallica stuff. You don't want to hear them do the Lou Rawls.
Yeah.
Doesn't work quite as well.
Yeah,
that was a garbage album.
It wasn't total garbage, but it was different. Yeah, it was different.
Number two.
So speaking of things that you should have spotted the clues all along, this movie stars, I'll go in backwards, Kevin Pollak, Chaz Palminteri, Stephen Baldwin, Gabriel Byrne, Benicio del Toro, and of course, the man who shall no longer be named in Hollywood, Mr. Kevin Spacey. This is Who is Kaiser Soze? We find that out in The Usual Suspects.
Nice.
So you have two people in this film that are no longer welcome in Hollywood, Kevin Spacey and Bryan Singer. Neither one are going to make a movie for a long time. We'll see. But just the mystery, the fact that when you finally do find out who Kaiser Soze is, which when I saw it, I guessed it was just because I'd seen the Oscars and I'd seen a whole bunch of stuff. I kind of already figured out who it probably would have been. But if you do watch it, all the clues that go on through the movie of unraveling who this person might be, they're all there. If you watch it again, they're all there. They all should have been spotted, but they just were hiding in plain sight the whole time. And it's a wonderful way of unraveling the story of who that character could possibly be. So that's my number two. It's a great movie. Whatever else Bryan Singer is, he is a great director occasionally. So
I will agree with that. I will say that, but not about Bryan Singer. I'll say that about Kevin Spacey. No matter what you think of him and all that stuff, man's hella talented. Like,
talented.
But I think for everybody, and I think most people, and this is not to get anything deep and stuff like that, no matter what certain people have done, like Michael Jackson is one of those things, whether he did stuff or not, you sit here and go, I mean,
great musician.
Chappelle said it better than anybody. He made Thriller. Like, it's one of those things where, and that's how it is. If there's anybody in this world to where I was like, give him a second chance, please. It's Kevin Spacey for me. I think he is such a talented actor. And in every single thing I've ever seen him in, it's just, I'm in awe. And he's one of those things too, and not just him. And so I'll go ahead and get off of that subject. But when you have somebody, I don't know, say Jake Gyllenhaal or David Fincher, to where I can just sit here and go,
they have eyeball magnets.
How are you that talented?
Yeah.
That you create. You made a sandwich.
You in.
You made a sandwich, and it was so good. Like, I could watch you make a sandwich for days.
Mm-hmm.
I love actors or musicians or just people who are like that. And yeah, that's
dynamic.
It. Sorry.
That's
There's
all
that
right.
French word, the je ne sais quoi. There we go,
Yeah.
je ne sais
Just
quoi.
don't know.
That's
Just don't know.
something, yeah.
Something. The little something.
It's like
So-
binging with Babish. He had that one thing that just that gone. There you go. Now he's just
Perfect.
yeah.
So that was my number 2. Let's go to your number 2, Jared.
Well, speaking of 1, 2, 3, that's how many subscribers we have. So let's reverse that at some point in time in the future. Don't forget, hit all them buttons. We want to hit 3, 2, 1. So this one is actually kind of a trilogy again. It has Tom Hanks as a Professor Langdon. And I really kind of don't count the third movie because I'm not too happy with it, but it's the Da Vinci Code series. I know it goes by a lot of different names, but the whole series in general was just phenomenal. Now, I know I'm going to use a word here that's going to upset some people, and I don't mean it this way, but it's the lore of everything. And I'm not trying to say that it's mystical or I don't want to upset anybody, but it's the best word that I can think of to describe the secrets that behold behind everything. You know, the way that it explains the movie and it talks about things, and the way the first movie ends, the way the second one is, and how reluctant he is to join this mystery, even though he's, like his language is hieroglyphics and discovering the past of the unknown and turning it into the known. It is the perfect mystery.
It's
you
a good
didn't
one.
see the Da Vinci series, did you either, Dash?
No.
I
Does
I read
Dash
the
have that
books,
face?
and I've seen the
Ow, I
movie.
just referred to myself in the third person. Does Dash have that face where I'm just like, anytime you see me move to the side of my mic and I'm just like taking everything, I'm like, oh.
Yep.
yeah.
Well,
Nothing.
I saw you do a little something there when I said lore, and I was
No, I'm fine with that word. I'm
Okay.
a user of that word. Yeah.
Well, like I don't know how else to describe it without upsetting a billion people.
No.
You know, but like I think the way it uncovers things and the way
Don't have that many subscribers, anyways.
yeah.
They'll be okay.
Not 8 billion.
They will. Somebody will scrub through and be like, Jared called it lore. It's like, oh, that's fair.
Don't
That's
worry about it. They're going to do that anyways. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of internet law.
Yeah.
And it's just, sorry, I've had that. It was a sinus infection, is what it was, and I'm sorry if you see me move off to the side of the screen or something. It's still there. It's still
Yeah,
there. It
good.
just doesn't go away.
I didn't see this movie, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't see this movie. I didn't see this movie for one reason.
Was it Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks' hair.
Oh,
It was
really?
bad, wasn't it?
Yes.
No,
That's
I
it.
didn't really have a problem with it.
I have a thing with people's hair, and it's funny for me to say that. But if you don't have good hair, and this is coming from somebody, I used to have really great hair. And then one day I was filming a dance video and I went to look at it and I saw I had a bald spot. They were like, you didn't know you had a bald spot? I can't see the back of my head. Ever since then, it's been gone.
Gone.
And so I can grow hair, just not on top of my head. So I just shaved the whole thing.
You know,
But
it's just transplanted other
I can
places.
appreciate good hair. It's one of those things too, and I'll throw this in there. I haven't seen all of Supernatural.
Speaking of great
Because I
hair, it's you
have a
guys with
thing-
great hair.
No, I don't like his hair.
Whose hair? Jared Padalecki?
Yes, I don't like it. I'm sorry.
Blasphemous!
And I
His
love
hair is
Jared. This is
amazing.
Jensen Ackles. I love him, and I can't wait to see him in The Boys. But
Love them both.
I can't get past his hair.
Well, it's funny you say that because
I like him as an actor too, and I like him as an actor.
it's funny you say that because in the books, Dr. Langdon's described as looking very much like Harrison Ford. And so that's really who should have been who should have been Tom Hanks's role.
Let's
is
get past
Harrison
this, sorry,
Ford.
because I can rant and rave about hair.
And now on to our honorable mentions.
Oh yes, honorable mentions. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Really?
And I'm happy about this because so first off, I'm from Durham, North Carolina. Okay, it wouldn't be a list of mystery movies without Kiss the Girls on it.
Oh.
Morgan Freeman, Ashley Judd, takes place in Durham. Fight Club, another David Fincher classic.
That technically
Okay.
was a mystery.
Just an amazing movie. The Raven, with John Cusack about
I've seen
Edgar Allan
that.
Poe and his end days in Baltimore.
Oh, is that what it's about? I should watch that.
Oh yeah, it's not a great movie.
Oh,
But
but I
if
love
you're
Edgar
Ellen-
Allan Poe.
You'll like it.
Oh, I love
I
Edgar
thought
Allan
it was
Poe.
It's a really good movie. The way they wrapped it up. But my real honorable mention comes to two movies. And these are not in any way mystery movies. These are very comedic sci-fi movies. This is Hot Tub Time Machine 1 and 2. And this is my honorable mention for one word and one word only, and that is Cincinnati. What happened in Cincinnati that we could not find out in the first one and we could not find out in the second one? Only if you've seen the alternate ending to Hot Tub Time Machine 2 did you see John Cusack show up and say, "Come with me, boys." He go, "Where are we going?" He goes, "Cincinnati." So will there ever be a Hot Tub Time Machine 3? There has been speculation on whether or not it will be brought back.
Tried.
And I think it should happen. I want to know. What's his name? Lord, he was in Children's Hospital, the bald one from Hot Tub Time Machine. He did a podcast and speculated that it was an alien fetus. So they were like, "You keep it in a shoebox?" I want to know what happened in Cincinnati. That is my honorable mention. Hot Tub Time Machine 1 and 2, because they both reference it.
Okay.
What is your honorable
Someday
mention?
I need to see those movies just so I can.
So much fun.
I've heard that from so many people.
Oh.
So real quick, I'm going to talk about a couple of the classics real quick is my honorable mention. So have to mention The Maltese Falcon. I mean, it's just a classic for a reason, right? Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon is technically considered a mystery movie. I didn't put it on the list, but awesome movie. Definitely recommend you guys watch that one. Chinatown, Citizen Kane, Psycho, Rear Window, just classics. Any Hitchcock has a bit of a mystery edge to it. A couple of movies I was going to mention you guys already took, so I'm going to have to switch up my honorable mention just a little bit. Because I was going to say The Da Vinci Code, but actually my number 11, my honorable mention is Ex Machina.
Oh.
So, I mean, this only reason it's not higher on my list is because this technically to me is more of a sci-fi than it is a mystery, but it is a mystery of trying to figure out, the whole deal behind Alicia Vikander and how the movie ends, the way that Oscar Isaac's character, the way that he's been operating in this world, a lot of mystery surrounding this story. Great direction from Alex Garland, who we again saw with, what was that Natalie Portman film that I'm now blanking on the name of, but that's also a great movie. I'm just blanking on the name of it. A lot of atmosphere, a lot of weird scenes. Oscar Isaac just being his beautiful, beautiful self. So that's my honorable mention, Ex Machina.
Man's got a great beard. For a short beard, he's got
Beautiful,
a great beard.
thick.
Yeah. Good face. Good good
Perfect
surroundings
face.
for a beard.
Perfect face, perfect beard.
Yeah.
Man, good looking dude. And very smart too, of course, which is important to me. So, Jared, let's go to your honorable mention.
See, I wanted to replace my number one pick with Donnie Darko because that movie is so
It's a phenomenal movie.
It holds up to the test of time.
I think a movie that's way ahead of its time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Dash, there you
really
go.
did not-
This is a movie I would love to see revisited with the same cast.
Ooh,
that
that'd
would be nice.
I mean, it would be kind of difficult because of Swayze's not around anymore.
Well,
they can do things.
They did Jumanji without Robin Williams, so life finds a way.
So Dash, let's go ahead and throw it down for Donnie Darko then.
All righty.
It was amazing. It was astonishing. Like I can't believe I forgot all these movies were technically mysteries.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Dash, let's unveil the mysteries here and hit you number one.
I'm a little. My number one has not been said.
Really?
Obviously, by either of you.
Really?
Okay.
And I'm getting one of those feelings in me, and I'm wondering if we have the same number one. How many words is in your title, Stephanie?
One word and one number.
Jared.
2 words.
Jared, mine and yours are not the same.
Good.
Okay.
Cool. Tapping out.
Stephanie, want to go together
really?
here? We'll
Ready to
go
count
1,
down
2,
again?
3, and go. Ready? Ready?
1,
2,
2, 3.
12
7.
monkeys. Oh, wrong number.
Oh, yeah. See, but you see, that's the thing, because you said a word and number. Mine is a word with the number
It is
in
a
it.
number. Yeah,
It's the number 7 in it. So yeah,
it would have been fun.
Yeah, it would have been.
This is twice now that's almost happened.
It has, yeah.
And this time I didn't swear at you.
Yeah. My number 1, like I said, is 7. Retired police detective takes his final case with the aid of the newly transferred detective. City has been targeted by a serial killer played by the non-listed Kevin Spacey, and it has given us one of the biggest lines in movie history. What's in the box? Yeah, so our killer has a strong head on his shoulders, unlike some other people in this movie. And I mean, it's Morgan Freeman, it's Brad Pitt, it's Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin Spacey, and of course, the 4th appearance of one of my absolute favorite directors, David Fincher. My movie is 7. Love this movie so much.
Someday I am going to see this movie. It's another, just for whatever reason, it's been on my list to watch it, and I catch up on other things, and I still haven't gotten around back to doing 7 yet. And
I will say this. So, Jared, you started off your list at 9 with Saw. And the only reason I did not put Saw on my list is because it's so close, in my opinion, to 7. To the movie 7, with all of the like the not the necessarily contraptions, but the torture that he puts his victims through in the movie horrific. 7. There's a parallel there to me between 7 and Saw. That's the only reason Saw didn't go on my list, but Saw definitely would have been on there. So, Stephanie, you haven't seen Saw. Jared, have you seen Saw? I mean, Saw 7?
I'm pretty sure I saw.
Have you saw 7?
Have you saw 7?
I have saw 7. I have saw 7.
You have saw 7?
Yeah, it was a good movie. I think I saw it when I was like, because you know how we talk about the Marvel fatigue. I think it was the horror genre fatigue that it kind of affected me, where I had just seen so many horror movies, and you pull one too many Friday the 13th binges, and you're just like, I'm kind of done. Yeah. But it was a good movie. It was a very, very good movie, Dash. I will agree with you on there.
Great. I will see it someday, and I'll give my reaction and review on the channel.
It's a there's a lot of mind on this list here. So, Stephanie, remind us what your number 1 is.
Exactly, since I just accidentally spoiled it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. But this one, I mean, to be fair, this one also has Brad Pitt in it.
There you go, yeah.
It also has Bruce Willis, and it is quite a mind from Mr. Terry Gilliam, 1995's 12 Monkeys, trying to figure out the mystery of why the world died, of why this horrible pandemic happened. Oops, I said the P word. Why this horrible dystopian future happened. The animals have come to rule on the surface area again. Humans are now living underground in this just total hellhole. And Bruce Willis is sent back in time, trying to figure out who actually released the agent that caused this horrible disaster. I almost put this movie in our disaster list because it is technically really a disaster film. I decided not to because it really is more of a time travel mind bend. So when you said mystery movies, definitely is a mystery movie. Bruce Willis trying to figure out this dream that he keeps happening. And when you find out what the dream is, like, oh my goodness, what a another one of those movies when it was over, I'm like, holy crap, that's one of the best movies I've seen. I was just like so excited after I saw this movie. It's so freaking good. And I'd seen Brazil just before that, so I'd already fallen in love with Terry Gilliam, of course, from Monty Python, his crazy mind. So 12 Monkeys, that's my number 1 mystery movie.
Great movie. Great movie. There was a TV show, correct, on FX?
Was there? I missed that.
There was.
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, I think there was. Yeah.
I want to say it was like a mini series or something like that. Yeah. I didn't know if you had seen that.
No, I have not seen that. I'm gonna go look for that now.
Like, I want to say it came out like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe.
A miniseries.
Yeah, it was on
okay.
FX, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. But did it have anything quite as fun as Brad Pitt's
I didn't watch
crazy character?
No.
Oh, we'll have to see when I watch it.
Yeah.
Because Brad Pitt in this one is just so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's so fun. He's one of those guys like
was-
Colin Farrell, who he's such a good-looking guy. He's cast as the lead actor, but he's a character actor.
Yeah.
He's
This,
a very good
and this
character
is, I mean, around the same time as Fight Club,
actor. Mhm.
12 Monkeys was. And so, yeah.
And a river
this
runs
was-
through it.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
Brad Pitt had that distinct look with the spiky hair. And, you know, it just,
The one eye
yeah. Yeah.
going a little crazy. Awesome. So that's my number one. Jared, let's go to your number one. Number one.
You know, they say it takes a village sometimes to raise somebody.
Mm.
And that was very, very true. I mentioned him earlier. M. Night Shyamalan
What a twist.
came out with The Village in 2004. This was the first time I think I've ever had my mind legitimately blown by a movie.
Really?
Well, you remember, I say it all the time. I watch it with just a blank slate to watch it. And so when the twist happened, it was just like, I'm sorry, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm like, I kind of got the mini little secret, and I was like, huh, I kind of got it. Nope, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. So just it just, I don't even want to spoil it because it's that good of a movie that you should watch it with an open mind and have the twist reveal itself after the fact.
I agree.
So
This
unlike
was,
you,
this
I'm
was
sorry.
the third one now. The third one that he had, I think, between The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, The Village, and then Signs.
Yeah,
before
Signs was a good one, too.
He like kind of veered off after that and went and did something else.
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water. And then he did what
The Happening.
I liked The Happening. I did. All right,
Well,
let's wrap her up here. And then
we are
I'm-
at 123, right? 123 is what the count was when we started.
Thank you,
123,
subscribers.
Thank you all
Very
for hitting
much.
that like, smash, subscribe, do it all. Let's try to reverse those numbers here and turn it into 3, 2, 1. That'd be awesome. Now, mind you, the Monday show will still be around. Stephanie and I are taking over. We're
Yeah,
gonna talk about and a couple of good things like this weekend, Monday. We're coming up with Witcher talk. So stick around.
Witcher
If you,
talk. Yep.
Yeah.
We've both seen season 2 of The Witcher, and we have some thoughts. And I'm a book reader and a game player, so I've got a lot of thoughts about the story of season 2 of The Witcher. Help us nerd out.
come nerd
I
out
will,
with us.
I'll be back the week after for the Monday show. But I have dance stuff this weekend. And then,
It's all good.
in February, it will be Mondays with Stephanie and Jared, and maybe guests will come on as well.
Yes.
Have to stick around and see.
We'll find some people. But again, smash the like, subscribe, hit that bell, ring all those notifications. Check out Real News. Check out what Dash is going to be doing, whatever show I'm doing. We'll stick around. This has been our mystery episode. Give us your top 10s down below, and we will see you guys later.
Bye.
Cut the check.